Today we're looking at Revelation chapter 1, verse 16. Let's begin by reading it in English in the ESV. In his right hand he held 7 stars. From his mouth came a sharp two-edged sword, and his face was like the sun shining in full strength. I'd like to focus on the middle section, so let's look at that in Koine. Ek tu stamatos autou ṟομφαία distamos oxea ek mene. The first 4 words, ek tu stamatos autou, ek, out of, tu stamatos, the mouth, autou, of him, out of his mouth. Then we get this great 3-word sequence, ῥομφαία, which is a sword, but it's not any sword. It's a large broadsword favored by the barbarians, especially by the Thracians. So it's the more common word for sword is machaira, and a machaira is a shorter sword. It can be single-edged or double-edged, just like the ṟομφαία can be, but it's a much smaller sword than the ṟομφαία, the machaira is. So much so that even a large knife can sometimes be referred to as a machaira. So here we have, coming out of his mouth, a large broadsword, favored by the barbarians, especially the Thracians. What else do we know about it? Distamos. It is a double cut sword. It is a sword that has 2 edges, not just one. It's double cut or double slice. So when we look at the word distamos, dis is double, and tomos has to do with cutting or slicing. When you hear about a CT scan or a PET scan, this is called tomography. It's tomography because it's showing your body in slices. It's sectioning your body in images so that the doctors can see individual slices of, say, one of your organs or your brain, etc., etc. That's tomography. Here, distamos is double cut, double slice. So what do we know about the ṟομφαία? It's a double cut ῥομφαία. It's a large broadsword that has both edges sharpened. And we also know that it is oxea, which when the word oxea, which is a form of oxus, is applied to an object, it means sharp. If it's applied to a person or an action, it means swift. And so if you think about the notion of swiftness and sharpness, a sharp sword or a sharp knife cuts swiftly, right? But if you are running, you can run swiftly. You can cut through the terrain quickly, swiftly, sharply. It's a pretty interesting word that way. And finally, we have the participle ek mene, which is from ek poreuomai, and it simply means coming out. So there's kind of a redundancy here. What's coming out and where is it coming out of? It's coming out of his mouth, that's the where, and what's it doing? Ek poreuomene, it's coming out from his mouth, out of his mouth, and what is it? It's a large, sharp, double-edged broadsword favored by the barbarians. So Revelation always raises an interesting question about interpretation. What are we to take literally and what are we to take symbolically? And I've never heard anyone offer a coherent rubric for making that division. The most common thing you'll hear is take everything as literal unless it's obviously symbolic. And what I would suggest about that is good luck making that determination, because you've not offered any sort of a criteria or rubric for figuring out what is to be taken as literal and what is to be taken as figurative or symbolic. I would argue for a different approach. Apocalyptic literature is all about imagery, and imagery is used to either reveal or evoke other things. So if we approach apocalyptic literature from the standpoint that the imagery is trying to get us to think about other things with which we're already familiar, we don't have to get bogged down in, is this a literal sword or a symbolic sword? Is his face shining like the sun or with actual Helios-like radiance? We don't have to get into that if we let the imagery prompt us toward concepts and ideas that we already know, and in more concrete fashion toward Old Testament events and sayings with which the first century readers would be familiar, and would make them think about things that they already knew and apply them to the present situation. So if we approach it from that standpoint, consider this. It's probably not an accident that Isaiah 49:2 says, "He made my mouth like a sharp sword." That's probably not an accident that John tells us that here in the midst of the lampstands stands one with hair that's bright white, holding the stars, the 7 stars in his hand, with a large ṟομφαία, a broadsword, coming out of his mouth that's double-sided, double-edged, and it's very sharp. This is probably not an accident. It's a reference back to the known. He made my mouth like a sharp sword. It's also probably not an accident that in Koine, not in English, but in Koine, the word for judgment literally means to separate or to cut or to slice. So if you are a first language Koine speaker and you see this imagery of one with a big, sharp, double-edged sword coming out of his mouth, and you know intrinsically in your thinking, in your linguistic mind, that the word judgment is about cutting, slicing, and separating, it's not a big leap for you to come away and see this image in Revelation 1:16 and say, what do I know about this being? His words are judgments. When he speaks judgments. Why? Because his words are like a large, sharp, double-edged sword that separate and sever and cut and slice and divide both ways. The sheep and the goats, the just and the unjust, the righteous and the unrighteous, the saved and the lost. His mouth pronounces judgments, and the imagery leads us there without wrestling over the notion of, is this a literal sword, a symbolic sword, a figurative sword? The image paints a picture of judgment. And I love that notion. When we approach apocalyptic, we may be entering into the wrong endeavor if we're trying to separate out, is this bear Russia? Is this bear China? Is this eagle America? Is this eagle Ukraine? Maybe we're barking up the wrong tree, and the image is not pointing us into our present, but pointing us into Old Testament past, so we can apply a lesson from that into the present. That's just thoughts coming out of my head. Do with it what you will. Ek tu stomatos autou, out of his mouth, ῥομφαία, a broadsword favored by the barbarians, distamos, a double-cut broadsword, oxea, that is sharp, and ekporiomene, it's coming out of his mouth. The redundancy tells us what it's doing and from where. Thanks for watching. I hope you found that interesting. Please let me know in the comments. And until next time, Charis Kai Irene Humin, grace and peace to you.